Liverpool will endeavour to keep the pressure on the Premier League leaders Chelsea when they travel to the capital to face our beloved West Ham United on Sunday evening. David Moyes' side marched to a 4-1 victory over Aston Villa in our most recent league battle, whilst Liverpool could only draw 2-2 at home against Brighton and Hove Albion. Welcome back to the West Ham Network. I'm Anton. I'm not joined by Stato. I don't know where Stato's gone. Stato hasn't replied. Lucky boy's the late substitution, but we know he's always there when we need him. Look, how you doing, mate? You okay?
I'm all right. I'm super sub tonight, so hopefully I get a last-minute winner or something. But yeah, no, I'm good, mate. I'm good.
Good, man. Listen, very briefly before we start getting into Liverpool, how are you feeling about the game tomorrow?
A bit of a combo between nervous and confident. It'll be probably our biggest test this season to see how far we're doing. We're doing fantastic this season. There's no doubt about it. But this will be a real test. It's a team that we haven't beaten in probably about 5 or 6 years now, and it's starting to get a bit annoying. So I'm just hoping that we play well and finally get a win against them.
Absolutely. Listen, like I said, if you're new around here, please go and subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, and of course, leave a comment. But it wouldn't be a match day build-up preview show if we didn't talk about the opposition and bring on an opposition fan. And we are joined by YouTube royalty this evening. Look, let's go and talk the opposition. Let's talk Liverpool. Please, everyone, welcome Craig from the Anfield Agenda. Craig, thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
I'm good. I was really enjoying that intro music, by the way. It was awesome. It's really good.
Yeah, we like a bit of funk music over on this channel. That's what we do. We kind of go down that funk level, but we've got a few more videos coming up later on. They might not be as funky. So, Craig, just for anyone that doesn't know, just give the channel a plug. I mean, people should really know, but if you don't mind giving your channel a plug and letting them know where to find you.
Yeah, you can always find us Anfield Agenda on any platform, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. You'll find us there. All match day content, news shows, just the regular YouTube stuff, and try and have a bit of fun with it.
Brilliant, excellent. So, Craig, let's get into it. It's the battle in the top four: West Ham versus Liverpool. I mean, as West Ham fans, I certainly didn't think I'd be even remotely turning around and saying that to you again for a second year in a row. So, first and foremost, how is things going at Liverpool?
It's pretty good, it's been worse. I won't lie to you. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's been an interesting start to the season. Like you were saying in your intro, Chelsea are the team to catch, it looks like. And for me, I'm worried about the AFCON. I'm worried about the busy festive period, but I'm really confident about European form. I'm really confident about how we're doing in the Champions League. But I won't lie, I was listening to you guys talking, and I'm nervous about this game tomorrow for a whole host of reasons, mainly because you guys are in pretty good form and we can't lose any pace with Chelsea at the top of the Premier League. So, yeah, I'm nervous about the game, looking forward to it. But as a Liverpool fan, these are good days. Yeah,
of course. I mean, you are flying, but there are some injury issues to the Liverpool side. And, look, I'll bring you into this bit. The carbon copy fixture this time, or I don't know, what it was the last time round at the London Stadium. Liverpool were coming into the game with injury issues, but West Ham kind of bent over and respected Liverpool too much and went kind of like, play your style and you'll take the game to us. And this time round, again, Liverpool find themselves with a few injuries. Should that really offer West Ham an opportunity, or do we need that to have the opportunity with the way we're playing?
The last game, the season the game last season, we gave them too much respect. A lot of people was the general consensus was that we were really good form ourselves. We had some momentum going with us, and we basically just went, all right, Liverpool, you do what you want, and we'll try and keep as many goals out of our net as we can. I thought personally, I was in the minority thinking this. Liverpool were just too good on the day. No matter how we played, if we were defended too much or if we attacked too much, Liverpool were just going to come out and the way they were playing, the way they were putting their goals away, they were just too good on the day. There probably is an element that that we literally just sort of rolled over in a way, just went, oh, you're Liverpool, aren't you? We won the majority of our games we wouldn't normally win last season, which is one of the reasons why we finished sixth. But I think players like, Curtis Jones, when he come on in the last game he played against us, he was for me the difference. He was one that changed the way the game was going. And if you might lose a few players to AFCON, but I think generally your whole team knows how to deal with your injuries. I think last season as well, you had that Nat Phillips at the back, didn't you? And there was a lot of West Ham fans said, they've only got Nat Phillips playing, we should be able to take advantage of that and trying to get the better of them. But he still played just as well. I don't think there was any difference between him and I think probably Van Dijk. The way he came into the team was superb. So last season we owe you a bit for that last year, but I think last year.
So I think, Craig, I think kind of emulating what Luke's saying, I think that West Ham have been on kind of some form of consistency for the first time in a long time for nearly 2 years. I mean, I can't even believe it as a West Ham fan. I pinch myself. I wake up in the middle of the night with sweats. I'm like, is this true? Is this a lie? Am I in a nightmare? Am I in a dream? And we wake up in the morning and we realise we're still in this dream. But when it comes to Liverpool and, you're so used to playing at the level you're playing at, you're playing Champions League football, injuries start to take their toll. Is there strength and depth within your squad that can handle the pace of what's happening in the Premier League?
I suppose this is the big argument amongst our fan base. We're probably a couple short to be looking along the lines of Manchester City and Chelsea with the squad depth that they have, which is phenomenal. But I don't want to use it as an excuse because we're a very well-balanced team. And speaking about what Luke said a second ago, I think one of the reasons why we were able to navigate our way through just about last season with the defensive injuries was because the system is so important with Jurgen Klopp. And when players come in, he won't just throw them straight into action. They need to be up to the system. They need to know exactly what Jurgen Klopp wants from them. And I think a midfielder and an attacker would be ideal for us in the transfer window. Wanting something and it actually happening with our owners is a whole another thing. But I'm pretty confident ahead of the game tomorrow. It's going to be difficult. I've no doubt about that. I was just going through your team earlier on. I like Jarrett Bowen. You can see why he's been linked to Liverpool. You can see why he's so hyped up as a young breakthrough footballer. Obviously, Mikel Antonio was phenomenal at the minute. He's going to be a handful for Van Dijk, and I suspect Matip maybe tomorrow. And just throughout the team, West Ham have built themselves a very good squad, and I think it's an indictment of Manchester United's treatment of your gaffer that he didn't perhaps get a chance to show what he can do, whereas West Ham had a bit of patience with him, and now you can see that West Ham are reaping the benefits of David Moyes' clear managerial talent, and he does have some. I know I'll banter it, and I'll never admit it in the United perspective, but when it comes to you guys, he's doing a very, very good job, and I think you were so unfortunate last season not to get one of the big prizes. And look, sure, you're walking through the Europa League as well, 10 points out of 12. So you deserve to be respected, you deserve to be feared, but I am confident just because of how well we're playing.
Sorry, I just took a little cheeky sneeze there. Yeah, it's just what happens when you do live. But I mean, you've got this trio up top. Of course, one of them's going to be missing. Firmino's picked up a hamstring injury, long term, or 4 to 8 weeks. Is that what they're expecting him to be out for?
Yeah, some people are saying 6, some people are saying 10, but yeah, it's for the foreseeable. And again, it's not what you want coming into the festive period. Looking ahead to the AFCON then as well, we know we're going to lose Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, and Naby Keita if he's back fit at that point as well. So yeah, the injuries are starting to mount up for the Reds, but I still think we're just about able to put out an 11 that we'd be happy with as Liverpool fans, just about.
Yeah, I mean, there's no ifs and buts about it. Look, like I said, we're pinching ourselves a lot, but like you said earlier on, this is going to be our biggest test for this season. This is the sort of game that West Ham need to be seen to be trying to get something from, to show, can we compete and consistently compete at this level?
Yeah,
I mean, go for it.
I personally think when Liverpool are in their game, they're unstoppable. I was watching the first half of the Atletico Madrid game in the week, and it was just how they're going 100 miles an hour. Every player knows what they're doing. They were all over Atletico Madrid, but then I look at it and go, they drew 2-2 with Brighton the previous game, and after beating Man United 5-0. Now Man United are terrible, and also everyone knows that, but it doesn't matter. You still got to beat them on the day, and there's that Brighton result was giving me hope, because I was listening to reports during the game actually, and the commentator said even though Liverpool are 2-0 up, Brighton are still winning this game. They're still giving it a go. You know, they're not down tools or anything like that. And I think Liverpool had a disallowed goal, didn't they, off Mane for a handball? Could have gone 3-0 up, but it was then chalked off.
It was correctly ruled out, but yeah, there was one.
It chalked off, and then it ensued that Brighton got a 2-2, draw out of it. Now, you're at Anfield, you're 2-0 down, potentially 3-0 down, and then you get a lifeline like that. There's no reason for me why West Ham can't at least play well to attain a draw. I would take a draw tomorrow, 100%. I'm normally a winning mentality kind of guy. I want to win every game, but there's no harm in drawing to a team like Liverpool. But after that game against Atletico Madrid, they're on a full pelt. Liverpool was scary, like really, really scary, and it's annoying how scary they are when they're playing their game. And for me, they're top. So we have to be our performance has to be absolutely pinpoint, 10 out of 10, just to keep up with them for 90 minutes. But if a team like Brighton, who are doing just as well as we are this year, if they've had a few decent results this year as well, there's no reason why at home, with our form we're in, we can't get a result out of it. So I'm scared, but at the same time, I think that there's a chance. No team's totally unbeatable. That's what I'll always say.
I'll say as well, we were lucky to get out of that game at Brighton with a point. Brighton probably deserved to win that game. They were very, very well organised, and as Luke said, they didn't let their heads drop, and we capitulated, and we've thrown away three 2-goal leads this season. We've managed to pull a couple of them back and get the results, but against Brighton, they showed that we can be gotten at. I think it's fair.
I mean, I think the question I was going to ask you then was, how do teams beat Liverpool? I feel like if I look, I can't help but bring back the circumstances when Liverpool came to the London Stadium last year, that West Ham, tried to pack out the midfield, tried to sit a little bit back. When we were coming off the back of performances where we were attacking teams, we were either countering or we were gaining possession and holding in possession. But I feel like Liverpool quite happily would if West Ham sit back, that forces Liverpool to constantly at that 100-mile-per-hour pace come at us. So, Craig, looking at West Ham, how do West Ham beat Liverpool tomorrow at home in front of a big crowd?
Pin back our fullbacks would be job number one, I would say. I mean, Liverpool, you're right. Liverpool, for me, we thrive in moments of chaos. We thrive in environments where it's like a basketball game and teams want to come and have a go at us. If you sit back, defend when you need to, stay compact, and then try and turn our wing backs or our left and right back when we're in transition, we can be gotten at, because depending on where the attack breaks down, if you get in behind us with Trent bombing up the wing, with Robbo bombing up the other side, that's where everybody seems to go, particularly for some reason on Trent's side. I don't know if they feel that Trent's the weaker of the two, but I think the only chance teams really have against us is to not allow our fullback into the game. If we get men bombing down the wing, we will exploit the space and we will tear teams to shreds. I think the best thing you can do is play with a low block, because it's the only kryptonite we seem to really have.
I mean, there's a kind of element of them with the current crop of players that West Ham have got, is that we can get at the flanks. Like, we play a lot there. Moyes' style of play is he wants hard-working players to be able to, if you think of Antonio in particular, he's not just your typical out-and-out striker. He comes wide and he has to work down that side. And what that does is it creates many overlapping opportunities. And if you compare the stats, if you look at the stats for this season, you've got a free-flowing Liverpool team who's scoring goals, but I think they've got 29 goals and they've conceded 8 with 6 clean sheets. But West Ham have scored 20 and conceded 11 with 3 clean sheets. And considering we don't have a kind of out and out striker in our team, it's all makeshift players. There's a lot of creativity in the midfield. It's definitely going to make for an exciting match. Craig, if I bring up the starting 11 that you put out against Brighton last time out, we know there's going to be changes. So what do we expect? What do we expect from that?
For me, I would say Matip most likely to start over Canade, although that probably would split the Liverpool fan base, because Canade probably better to defend against pace. moving into the midfield, I expect Thiago to come in where Curtis Jones is in that left-hand side, and Jordan Henderson to shift across to the right-hand side with Fabinho in the holding midfield role. And the only change in the attack, Diogo Jota obviously coming in for Bobby Firmino. But this is interesting. It's the first time we've really had a chance to see this season Fabinho, Thiago and Henderson, and I'm very intrigued to see how they get on, because that's the midfield that I'd like to start every game where possible.
Yep. I mean, look, I seen your face there when I put that team up, and you go on, tell me, come on.
No, it's just the pace of it. This is the annoying thing as well, though, is that Henderson for Liverpool turns up. Henderson for England is just is a waffle to me. It doesn't deserve to get picked, but that's just my opinion. But that team just screams pace and it screams power, and it's almost to the point, because the wing backs are so good, you can bypass the midfield now. England throughout the years, had dinosaur managers that would bypass the midfield by chucking the ball from centre backs, long ball over the top to your forwards. You lot do it a completely different way. You lot have the wing backs scaring the life out of fullbacks and the rest. Get balls in the box, Salah do the rest, and it's a goal. So it's. You know, I'm looking at the midfield, and I didn't even look at the midfield, because it's almost at times it feels like it might as well be redundant. You know, Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold on the wings, they're just dynamite. And you know, you add that towards, you know, the pace of Mane and Salah, and you know, if they're not doing it, Firmino will do it. But obviously Firmino's out tomorrow, so that's probably a bit of a better for us. But it's. You can tell why they're so dominant and dangerous. And it's funny, because you were saying, Anton, that Antonio's not an all-out striker. He's not. But it's funny because Man City this season have said they've done better and benefited this year without an actual out-and-out striker. And possibly that's done well for us as well, because a lot of West Ham fans wouldn't call Antonio a striker, but he just scores loads of goals. But Liverpool have got just looking at that. You know, Henderson to me looks like a misfit in that midfield, and then you just got the defensive back line. I'm going to be really interested to see Van Dijk versus Antonio, because I don't think Van Dijk really has always got the better of Antonio. I think he's always liked a bit of a challenge between him. I think we played him a few years back, didn't we? Drew 1-1 when Antonio scored a goal from a free kick or something like that.
But we do know that Antonio does like he does like
a
goal against Liverpool. He does like a goal against Liverpool. And the thing about Antonio, Craig, as well, and I think not just Liverpool fans, but most people will know, is his unpredictability, because he doesn't. I don't actually know if he knows what he's going to do half the time, and then something happens and it's absolutely fantastic. Just to give you some stats, he's been directly involved in 17 goals in his last 22 Premier League games at the London Stadium for West Ham, 11 goals and 6 assists. He is the top goal scorer, 19, and assister with 12 at the London Stadium, and is one of 3 current players to be outright top for both goals and assists at a stadium in the Premier League, along with Jamie Vardy and Raul Jimenez from Wolverhampton Wanderers. But, you know, to add something to the back burner, to challenge back to West Ham fans, Mo Salah has scored 9 goals in 8 Premier League appearances against West Ham, and he could become the 7th player to score 10 plus goals against West Ham in the competition. He does love playing against West Ham, Craig, as does Manny as well. So coming into the game tomorrow, Klopp, you Liverpool fans, feeling positive, feeling up for it, and can you see plenty of goals in this game?
Yes, I can. I think the game does have goals written all over it. Just to go back to Mikel Antonio for a second, he's one of those players that even as an opposition fan, you look at, you just will him to do well. He just seems like such a nice, hard-working lad, and he must be a dream for any manager to work with, because, you know, not a natural centre-forward, but there he is running the line, putting in a shift. And, you know, we did have, Van Dijk in particular, did have an awful time against Ivan Toney earlier on this season against Brentford, where I very rarely would use the phrase he was bullied, but he was, you know, he was very, very well and truly taken to the cleaners that day by Brentford. And they got us by causing overloads at the far posts, again, targeting our fullbacks, getting deep, the Jordan Henderson, the Kevin De Bruyne type balls to the back post, and then having 2 or 3 lads coming in with late runs, trying to overall trend at the back post. So yeah, look, it's going to be an interesting game. I do see goals in it. Unfortunately for you, I see more of them for us. Sorry, I don't mean to be, you know, I have to be confident.
You have to be. It's your team, and we expect that. Before I ask you anything about predictions, etc., and Neil's got a good comment. I seen you smirk at it. He said you described the 5-0 win against Man United as porn. So, what kind of movie do you expect tomorrow to be?
Drama. Let's go with drama. That was beautiful. And just in case any United fans weren't aware, it was 5-0. I just want to point that out. It was 5-0. Manchester City, what's a 2-0? You know, we can all go to Old Trafford and get a 2-0, but a 5-0. How is he still in a job? It's beautiful. This is like Christmas has come early for me as a Liverpool fan. It was pouring. And you know what? 5 didn't flatter us that day either. I mean, it could have. And I think it was the same today. David De Gea making some worldly saves against Manchester City. But I think you're a better team than Manchester United are. So, you know, with that, I don't expect anywhere near a similar afternoon.
I hope so. Bloody hell, I hope so. We are.
Well, I think the
So
thing, though,
bad.
look, the thing is, we've got to kind of, and we're going to go off and talk on a tangent about West Ham in a minute, but we've got to have some form of confidence in ourselves as well. You know, we're currently third in the form guide for the Premier League in 2021. I mean, you know, we're talking about 11 months of the year, and West Ham are sitting third in that form guide. I mean, that's ridiculous as a West Ham fan.
It's mad. It's absolutely mad. And you consider all the opposite competitions that we're still in. Normally by this time, we're out of the Carling Cup, you know, sorry, the League Cup. We're out of everything. With this, the league is like, we've got to start picking up some points or something like that. It's funny, Craig, because I think you mentioned about Moyes always being a top manager. I think Man United ruined him. Honestly, the Man United job ruined him, and he'd done a couple of jobs after that, and he got even more ruined, and he became a bit of a joke in the end, and then he went away with UEFA. And he even said himself, he's like a manager reborn. He's learned loads of new things. He's taken more jobs, even worked for UEFA during the Euros and stuff like that. And he's come back a better manager. I didn't want Moyes anywhere near. I thought he was a cheap appointment from the board. I thought, you know, why are we going for this guy again? Yeah, okay, keep this up. Is that all we want to do? Just keep getting kept up and not actually wanting to prove him from that. And he's totally proved me wrong in the way he's changed the cupboard brown. And I think he's now. You listen to Jared Bowen. I did an interview this week, and it's come out today. A few things he was saying that the whole team is together, and the momentum we're on now is that we're going to be confident tomorrow. There's no doubt about that, and I've no doubt that we're going to play really, really well. But the thing with West Ham now is, which is amazing. I've never experienced this at West Ham before, is that if our standards drop, it's like the end of the world. So if Liverpool go and win 2-1 and they outplay us, it's not going to be, well, it's Liverpool, we're West Ham and stuff like that. We expect to lose. It'll be
devastating.
Why aren't we? Yeah, why isn't we beating them 3-2? Why have they scored 2 goals against us? Who's at fault here?
Yeah.
You know, it gets microanalyzed, and I think it's harsh to a point, but it's also great as a West Ham fan nowadays because we now look at it and go, this is the standard. This is an unreal standard. So in a way, it's going to be amazing. The you know, Klopp and Moyes in the same dugout, and West Ham being confident going into a game and not scared against Liverpool. We'll find out after the 5 seconds after the
We will find out.
you know, but
I think it will take 5 seconds to know where West Ham are anyway, to be honest. Before we get into the nitty gritty and before you leave, Craig, let's just quickly take a look and see what happened last time out the two teams met. Feels like a long time ago. So, Craig, I've got 2 more questions to ask you. The first question, I'm going to play a little cheeky video, is who is the West Ham player you fear the most?
Declan Rice.
Yeah. He's phenomenal.
He's Ireland's Declan Rice, one hell of a footballer.
I had to fit that in there somewhere, didn't I?
Go on, talk to me about him then.
Oh, look, he's phenomenal. I mean, ironically, we spoke about bypassing the midfield earlier on in the video with Liverpool when you were looking at our midfield, but it's going to be a very interesting battle in that midfield with Declan Rice because he is a Rolls Royce of a footballer. You guys, you spoke about the standards not dropping and, you know, how there's going to be a major conversation if you get beaten by Liverpool about if the standards fall down. I think that man is setting the standards in your midfield, and he's a proper footballer. He really, really is. Very, very likable guy with regards to the way he plays the game as well. So yeah, he's definitely the one. You know, you'd probably expect me to say Antonio, but really respect
I was actually
footballer, Declan Rice.
I think when it comes to Declan, I read some crazy stat out the other day. You know, he's the only player in the Premier League to hold about, I think it's something like 25 of these stats collectively together. So it's like 10 plus interceptions, 10 plus blocks. It's just phenomenal what he does. And sometimes you feel like what he does is, if West Ham are starting to drop, it's like Declan Rice has a look around and he grabs the whole team by the scruff of the neck and literally is carrying them forward and going, you have to keep going at this pace and this level. We noticed it in Europa League again the other night. Look, albeit, yes, we drew to all and we were devastated with a bloody draw away in the Europa League after winning the first 3 games. But he grabbed the ball and he kind of dispossessed like 3 or 4 Genk players like they were nothing at all, kept driving forward. And I think he is going to be a key man. And I can see what you said, Craig, earlier on, the midfield being a really strong midfield battle tomorrow. You know, you could even say that that could be what could win the game tomorrow, because West Ham have got strong central pairing in there. And Liverpool do as well, depending on who's going to play, I suppose.
With Rice as well, he's starting to add goals to his game this season a little bit more, which you would want from a midfielder ideally. But you know what gives me a little bit of solace tomorrow is that I'm going to get to watch Thiago playing the game of football again, hopefully, which is just a joy to sit and watch.
And he's the player we should fear the most then.
I don't know what to expect because we haven't got to see enough of him, to be honest with you. It's been stop-start, but we know when we've got Thiago on the pitch, the ball will be moved quickly. He'll do all the right things. He'll recycle play, probably pick up an early yellow card as well. He does seem to pick up a few of them.
Yeah.
Look, what were you going to say before?
I was going to say, I'm going to blow your mind here a little bit because I know you just wax lyrical about Rice there. He started off as a centre-back, and since he's been in the West Ham squad, made his debut as a centre-back, played a few games as centre-back. In fact, actually made a mistake in one of his first few games away at Arsenal, and it actually cost us the game. And I think since then, he's improved as a player, and he's gone further and further up. I was joking the other week, I said he'll end up being a striker at some point because he's just gone so far forward in his career. He wants to add goals now. You talk about a centre-back, started out as a centre-back in the Premier League, not in the Championship, in the Premier League, and has gone from strength to strength. So, yeah, that's
22 years old. And I mean, I was talking to a Liverpool fan earlier on today, and he was saying to me, literally, I mean, he has seen as of late about Declan Rice, but he was like, is he what everyone is saying? Is he that good? I said, I think I can say at the age of 38, quite confidently, that he's probably the best midfielder I've seen at West Ham. Like, for what he does, his all-round game, it's phenomenal. And we've seen a lot. I could name loads: Michael Carrick, Joe Cole, Frank Lampard. We've had them all, and he is up there with his stats. Anyway, before you go, Craig, we do massively appreciate you coming on. What is your predictions for tomorrow's game?
You know what? I'm going to repeat last season's scoreline and stick with the 3-1 to Liverpool. I wouldn't respect myself if I didn't predict the win. I don't think it's going to be an easy game, though. I really do not. I think this is going to be a battle of attrition tomorrow, and I think that it's going to be a full 90-minute game. I don't think we're going to blow you away 3-0, you pull them back or anything like that. I think it's going to go right to the wire, and maybe we pinch a late third when you're pressing for an equaliser, but I expect it to be a difficult game. I really do. And it's been good to see you get past that little blip moving stadiums because the atmosphere wasn't great for a while. But sometimes the football, the atmosphere obviously go hand in hand, and a lot of likeable attributes about these West Ham players for you guys. And I think we'll forgive a lot as fans as long as they're putting the shift in out on the pitch. And they're certainly doing that for you guys week in and week out. So I'm expecting a difficult game, but I've got to back our boys.
Yep, and I understand that. Listen, Craig,
fair enough.
It has been an absolute pleasure having you on. I would love to have you back on in the future for the next fixture next time round. So yeah, massive plaudits for you.
I've subscribed, by the way, to Agenda Anfield. I'm never going to watch a video.
Anfield Agenda.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, sorry. But again, I'm getting wrong. But yeah,
lads, it's been a pleasure. Always happy to talk football. Two lovely lads. I wish the channel all the best as well, but I can't wish you the best tomorrow, unfortunately.
Well, I was just going to say all the best after tomorrow's game, Craig. After tomorrow's game. Listen, take it easy. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, gents.
And
bye-bye.
All the best, mate. Take it easy. Thank
you, man.
Yeah, cool. Look, there you go, mate. Great to have opposition fan on, and yeah, a bit of YouTube royalty there.
He was nice as well because he wasn't like totally no, we're going to beat you're nothing, don't worry about it. He was very respectful of us in a minute, which is I think we're starting. Is it starting to happen more and more often now? I think more sort of fans of the top 4 clubs are starting to notice us a little bit and go a bit. No, you got a good team. Man. You got a good team.
It suits me to go under the radar, to be honest. But listen, before we talk West Ham, we need to play a little cheeky video, which is Let's Talk West Ham. But before we do that, you need to go and check out our channel sponsors, Football Prizes, because they are offering you a fantastic Legends Prize, Paolo Di Canio signed and framed West Ham shirt. The tickets cost £4.95. There are only 99 tickets to be sold. The competition ends on Friday, the 12th of November at 7:30 p.m. Let's take a look and see. 18 tickets have been sold already, 99 to be sold. However many are sold, the tickets, this will go live. Don't worry, this will be given away.
Is I take it Matt's banned from
He's
this.
banned
this
from
century.
entering
Right,
competitions.
Fair
Plus,
enough.
for the reason that he's got no room on his wall either. So I've put it on the. I've actually put it on in the chat as well. If you are interested in it, then go and check it out. But anyway, we're on to West Ham. Lucky boy. Now, I'm not going to. I've done a little bit of the David Moyes press conference yesterday. That was short and sweet. It was short and sweet. But to cut a long story short, we knew that Vlasic and Yarmolenko were missing for the Europa League game. It looks like they're back. They're bouncing around. But either way, it probably isn't massively going to affect our starting lineup if they are or are not fit anyway. But with regards to Liverpool, how are you feeling, and what Craig was saying, and how Liverpool are playing, but also how West Ham are playing?
I go to honestly I go to games now feeling excited. I feel like a buzz in my stomach, and I've always said to people that I don't care if we lose 3-0, as long as you play well and you give it some and you give 100% effort. That's all that matters to me, and that's all our team does. That's the basics that our team does now. Is you go into games with 100% effort and ethos, and it's fantastic. I think, like I said, even before this video started, that this is our biggest test. I think Man United was a big test at home. We failed that, unfortunately. But like I said to you, the Brighton result for them against them has given me hope. And he's given me even more hope by saying that other games they've got a bit lucky as well to get a result and stuff like that. But they're a top team and they get the results. That's the end of the day. That if you're a top team, you get results. And that's the reason why we are in a top four, because we are ourselves getting results. And we're pushing that barrier now, and I think that the way that the team is, we have certain players with a bit more confidence. You have players like Ben Rama, his best game for us in my opinion, against Genk, and he done brilliant to get 2 goals. He'll be in tomorrow. So overall, mate, I'm just buzzing. I want to get down there. I want 4:30 to be now, and I want to be in my seat cheering along, and it's not going to be a walkover for them. I think we've improved last year in regards to giving the top teams too much respect. But I can't ask for the world, so I don't mind if we just play well and don't get a result. But how are you feeling? You must be confident to a level.
Yeah, of course I am. I go into every West Ham game confident, but this is a different level of confidence. I think this time it's followed by belief. Rather than just being confident. The confidence I've got is I'm a half glass full West Ham fan rather than a half glass
you always
empty
are.
West Ham
It's
fan.
annoying sometimes, but
but I know, and I can get that's annoying, but I don't know if I've got this kind of no, but it is, and I know it is, but I've got this kind of like I don't want to admit when things are not great, but I can admit when things aren't great. That's the problem, but I'll still go into the next game thinking we'll try and get a result. But this is different because we're transitioned. There's no point in me saying we're transitioning. We've transitioned, and I think we've got other levels of transitioning to go through, but we've made the first transition, and like you said, mate, these are the games that we need to fight for. My only concern is how we set up for it, and if we set up anything like what we did last time out at home against Liverpool, I think we can concede upwards of 3+ goals because invites them. That invites Liverpool to attack. That's what they want. That's what Klopp is looking for. He's looking for teams to go, right, we'll defend, right, we'll sit back, right, we won't take the game to the opposition because, that suits what Liverpool want to do. They've got pace. You said it. They've got 100 miles per hour. They've got everything about them. They'll get at us, and that's what we need to do. We need to get at them, and exactly what Craig said, we need to pin down their full-backs. And this is a game for the likes of Jared Bowen and Benny and Fornals. Work rate, mate. Work rate is up there with an abundance, and that's what's potentially going to win this game tomorrow for West Ham. So,
yeah, I think Johnson's been playing well this year, but fantastic. This will be if he starts tomorrow, his biggest test is those wingers because Leon Bailey was meant to be a quick player for Villa. I didn't think he was that quick the other night against for Villa, but these two are going to be like lightning, so he needs to be on it from the first whistle.
Yep, absolutely. Well, listen, if you are watching, get your starting 11 predictions in the chat. So name your starting 11 as myself and Luke go through our predicted 11. So, loads of people in the comments, lovely people coming in from Liverpool fans. So thank you for joining us if you are.
Yep.
So get your comments in, let us know your thoughts of the starting lineup, who you think will be in the starting lineup. But look, it's our turn now. Listen, we are working in the background to try and get this to be a little bit more flawless, to be a little bit neater, that you don't see the surrounding area. Don't you worry, we're working on it.
People know we're like, mate. We're amateur hour, but we're professional amateur hour.
It's all part of the banter, mate. It's all part of the banter. Right, Lukey boy, let's get straight into it. Goalkeeper for tomorrow. Now, Fabianski's been our Premier League goalkeeper. He's been playing on form as of late. Areola has been our cup keeper. He's been on form as of late. But is he going to resort back to playing Fabianski in goal?
I think we all know he will do. Nipples have been playing very well in the Europa League and all that. I had to say it's on
Can't help it, can you?
No, I can't. I've used to make the phrases. People have been saying lately he's prone to a mistake this season, which he's not normally prone to, and it could be to do with age, competition, experience, or whatever. I still rate Fabianski very highly. I think he's very much no frills, just do the job you're there to do, and he does it pretty much tip top in most games. I think out of pure respect, I still think he's a good goalkeeper. I don't think he's showing signs of slowing down. I think he's just I think most of our goalkeepers, if I'm honest, since he come into the club, haven't been all that especially reliable wise since he come to the club, and he has been everyone's number one. Suddenly Areola's come in, and he's done well in all the games. You see his first goal last night. First two goals. The second one he couldn't do anything about. The first one was maybe he could have done a bit better there, but that'd be harsh by criticising him there. But he's one for the future for me, and I think Moyes is doing his squad rotation thing perfectly. I think it's worked out so far this season, as results show. And Fabianski, I think, deserves to keep his place. We won 4-1 in the last game. He made a fantastic world-class save against Watkins in the Aston Villa game. And it's little moments like that is that I always say that the top players can do nothing for 90 minutes, but when you need them to be on form, they show their true their true ability. And he has to be on tip-top form. They're going to be probably battering him with shot, balls into the box and low balls coming in. I've got faith that he'll have a good game. I just don't. This is the thing as well, though. We always say that we think this team will be what it is, and then Moyes will throw a curveball at the last minute, and a team there's slight changes you wouldn't normally expect. But I think it's now nailed on that Fabianski will start, and fair play if he does.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. I mean, there's so many comments in there. Jones agreeing with Happy Amaret, saying we do need to put Areola in there. But I think the thing it comes down to the fact is what Moyes is going to do, and I think Moyes will stick with Fabianski for the Premier League goalkeeper. Anyway, let's move on to our formation. Are we just going with our typical formation of 4-4-2?
Yeah, why change it, eh?
Yeah,
why
cool.
change it?
Right. Crazy left back. I mean, if we look at our left back options, really is going to be Crazy. I mean, he's been back on form this season. I mean, there's no really big need to change it, and he was probably our best defender, in my opinion, on Thursday night as well.
He's rejuvenated, isn't he? He's. I think someone said I saw a comment on Twitter ages ago, which was saying that the man is almost like a new signing for us at left back, which is incredible to think of it that way. I'm I'm a big fan of Masuaku, but for me, he can never play left back again. He's too suspect at left back. You know, he didn't have the best game against Genk in the week, but he's kind of the only competition that we've got for Creswell. So it's just as well that he's playing so brilliantly, because if we didn't have him, we'd pretty much we'd have to have a makeshift left back. And I think, you know, Masuaku, the more he's in the team, will be as a more of attacking outlet, which is fantastic. And then I can't have an argument with Stell whether he's actually good or not, because I'll lose it every time if he plays poorly on the left wing. That'd be fair enough.
I think the thing about Creswell is his deliveries is bang on again, and that can cause them concerns, and he's able to get forward and get back as long as someone is helping him down that left hand side. Anyway, let's move on to the right hand side. We've got 3 players here that we can choose from. We've got Vladimir Coufal, who of course is back from injury. We've got Ben Johnson, who has been deputising and has deputised very, very, very well. We have Ryan Fredericks, who I'm trying to find. There he is there. I couldn't find him. Who could also step in. But let's be brutally honest, mate. It's going to be... I mean, I've seen loads of people saying that Coufal deserves to be brought back into the team because it's Liverpool that we're facing. But I think that would be... I think that would be pretty harsh on Ben Johnson, wouldn't it?
It would be. I don't think Ben Johnson's slow either. I think, you know, he's got the athleticism about him that he can definitely handle. You know, a fast winger. Obviously, I said Liverpool are different levels, so they're probably faster than most wingers, most fullbacks in the league. But he scored a goal in the last game. I think he maybe made a couple of mistakes where he gave the ball away in the second half a little bit, but then it was one back for him and stuff like that. But he's an ongoing improving player. Now, if we've got the team we have at the moment, the momentum we've got, are we gonna sort of go, well, Coufal's going to start against this team because he's just better than you overall? So no matter how Ben Johnson plays, he's still not as good as Coufal. I don't subscribe to that way of thinking. I think if you're performing well, you're performing well. It's like when players get picked for England that aren't playing well, but they're just in there because they're in there. They always are in there. They're picked on name rather than ability. Whereas someone might be more informed. So for me, Johnson has to start. He deserves to start. He scored a fantastic goal in the last game, and he hasn't exactly played poorly in the other games either. And it'd be really interesting to see how he does cope. And I really hope that he has not just a good game, a very good game,
very good game,
and put himself out there. Yeah, exactly.
Let's have a look at the centre half pairings. Of course, Diop and Dawson deputised the centre half pairing for the Europa League game. However, we can't really fault the last 5 or 6 games that these two have stepped in, Augie and Zuma, and I think we're going to need this partnership, this strong partnership, to be on the A game tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah,
I actually want to know what the relationship is between Benrahma and Zuma, because I think when Benrahma scored his
best
winner,
mates, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, we're not with the club day to day. You know, I don't know. You know, if they have constant banter, but you know, they seem to be an all together unit as well. But it was quite, when he ran over, I thought, is he going to hug Moyes? Because he's really going over there at a rapid pace. And I thought maybe it's one of the coaches. And as soon as I saw Zuma's step up, I went, bloody hell, there must be some sort of really big bromance there going on. But yeah, that partnership seems to be working out really well. And I think that you got the experience of Agbona, who for the last couple of years he's been very reliable for us. And now Zuma's coming. I think with Zuma, you can see that he's been playing for Chelsea. You can see he's been playing in top games, really important, high intense games, and that's going to come in handy with a game like tomorrow. He made a mistake. A lot of people were saying he made a mistake against Lingard when he showed him on his right hand side. First of all, that was a worldy goal from Lingard, who thought he was going to score from there anyway. And B, that was his first game for us, so I think we could cut him some slack, because since then he's been fantastic. Wins balls in the air, his distribution's really good. The only thing I thought he'd be doing more now is be doing a bit of a Craig Dawson when he first signed West Ham, which is scoring more goals from corners and stuff, because for Chelsea apparently he was quite dangerous in the box from corners and free kicks and all sorts of stuff like that. So possibly he might even get his first goal for West Ham tomorrow. But that partnership's solid, absolute brick wall, and needs to be retained.
Cool, excellent. Let's jump into the midfield. The central pairing, I think there's no doubt about it. It's still going to be Declan Rice and Tommy Soucek. Now, it's good to see that Alex Kroll is back. He had a cameo appearance against Genk in the Europa League, but these two have been, or in particular Declan Rice, who's kind of progressed the team further forward, allowing Souček to sit further back. But we're going to need these two on their A game tomorrow, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. I've been very harsh against Souček lately, and to be honest with you, I still am. People in the live chat can say I'm being harsh and whatever, but I've been disappointed with Souček this year. I think he had a good game against Everton, I think it was, but since then I've not really seen the old Souček. And I know we've had this discussion before that they've both got different roles now, and it's proving better for Rice, and Rice is doing more. But there's something that the Souček, for me personally, Souček's missing something. There's something that's not going right with him. If he's tired from the Euros, he needs to rest. He's not the same Tommy Souček to me. He's really not. I'm being really harsh on him, but our standards have got that high. That's what it's turned me into, a really harsh person. And I love him to bits. Don't get me wrong, people. I love him to bits. He's a warrior, and he's everything that West Ham fans want in a player. There's no doubt about it. He puts his head where you shouldn't put your head, for a tackle and stuff like that, and he cuts his face for fun. Everything that you could want for a player, die hard, but performance-wise, I just don't think he's showing that, the same that he has done. And I don't want to drop him. I don't want to. I feel like I'm sort of going, well, for me personally, I'd play someone like Fornals there because I think he could do the job just as well. But again, people go, you're deluded thinking Fornals could do that, which is fair enough. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I just feel that Rice, hopefully Rice isn't having to compensate as well. That's what's making him look better, because he's doing more in the midfield because he's having to, because Souček isn't having the same effect. But in my opinion, I really want to see the old Souček back. Don't know what we got to do to get it.
It's funny though. I think when you talk about this, and I've had many debates over it for a while, and there was a while there I was like, yeah, I think you need to rest Souček. I think you need to rest Souček. But then we started to kick it back into gear. But the thing you've got now is you've got a Declan Rice that moves forward. He gets forward, and that's what you want, and that's it's effective. It's effective what he's doing. So last year, Souček got 10 goals at the end of the season, and we saw a totally different footballer to what we're seeing this year. But I think he is going under the radar this year, if I'm being honest, because he's still top of the charts for his running. And I think Declan Rice needs Tommy Souček beside him, to be honest. I really do. I'm not.
He could be right.
This team and me, for me, I know we all go on about Declan Rice, but it's not just about the one player. It's absolutely all about the two of them playing together, and I think they're extremely effective when they do play together, 100%. Anyway, let's move on. I think should we talk about the striker first and foremost? I think it's a no-brainer, really, isn't it, that Antonio's going to step up there.
You got the controls.
Well, I think people have been saying they've not been happy with his performances of late. How are you feeling about Antonio?
See, I don't agree with that, but then again,
I don't agree with it either.
I can almost see what they're scraping the belt for. Maybe he isn't up there with the goals at the minute, or he isn't, quite robust as he normally is. He was doing more running against Villa than I've ever seen him do this season. He was running after balls we were putting up there. He'll be underrated to the point where I think that people won't even now notice the work that he does. He doesn't always run all the time. He jogs around, but then the minute he gets a chance, he sprints in there with a jog. He's always battling defenders off, and in much the same way as your argument is with me with Souček, perhaps his role is changing throughout the season. Is that he's not getting in the box as much for crosses in to put headers away or score goals. He's doing more the hold-up play so that the wingers can have more, chances in front of goal. That Bowen can maybe get in the box more or something like that. I don't think he's dropped his performances. Like Craig said when he was on, a lot of fans admire us with Antonio. They think he's a fantastic player, and it's nice to see him doing really well. Me personally, because since the time that he signed for West Ham, he's not stopped working hard for the club. I don't care if he drops his performance a little bit, because he's due that. He's done a job for us where he didn't think he'd ever do, which is be our main striker, and he's been absolutely fantastic for us both this season, last season, season before that, you name it. And if his performances do drop a little bit, I'm not that bothered, because people will only moan that Yarmolenko's gone up front or something like that, and he isn't putting performances in. So he can't do no wrong in my eyes, Antonio.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah,
Excellent. No, I do agree with what you're saying there. Right. Okay. So that leaves us with three more players to add. So let's
we
discuss.
all know who they are. Come on, get 'em
Yeah, we
out.
do. We do. Well, should we just put them in then and discuss
Yeah,
what we think? Right. Okay. Let's no beating about the bush today. Fornals, I think he's actually going to be really key for the game tomorrow. I think he's been so effective. I think his work rate is going to be a big key factor for tomorrow, and I think he's going to be causing them problems down the left hand side, and vice versa with Jared Bowen as well. Now, I've seen a lot of people call for a change in this man's position and thinking that because he started against Genk that we may see a change, and the player that they were thinking we may see a change for would be the likes of Lanzini. Now, I'm going to quickly mention my opinion on this. I think that Lanzini still has something to offer to West Ham.
yeah,
I don't doubt that for a second. I think that what we've got is Lanzini performing in a squad of players that know how to play with the Lanzini, like what we saw when he had Payet beside him. The thing we've got now is that when Benrahma doesn't have the output, i.e., he doesn't score the goals and get the assists, then some, not all, but some West Ham fans assume then he is off form and he's not performing to his best ability. But what we are seeing is a Benrahma who is also transitioning with a West Ham squad that is transitioning. And I always think back to when we talk about Fornals. And I don't know how many times I've repeated it, but I feel like Fornals he's been at the club now for a solid 3 or 4 years, Luke. And it's only really in the last couple of years that he's come into fruition and to become the player that he's become today. And that player he's become today is not the player that we signed. The player we
nah,
signed was a tricky individual who would cause, penetrating passes and no work rate. And not, I mean, I'm not discrediting, but not the level of work rate that he does, and not everything else that he does for this team to become so important. And I feel like Benny's making that transition. I feel like he is gone under the radar because he hasn't scored as many goals as he had at the start of the season. And but I think that it's pivotal that he starts the game because his work rate is phenomenal and he actually supports the rest of those midfielders. And if he doesn't get a goal, okay, he may have 3 or 4 chances. Some of them go haywire, go up to row Z, go really far wide. But everything else he does for the team is huge. And if we are needing another outlet, then 70 minutes into the game, I'm happy to see Lanzini come on in his position because that offers us a difference, something a bit different, something exciting. So for me, and for that reason, I would start Benny in that role. What do you think?
pardon me. No, I completely agree with what you're saying. It's this Fornals was this tricky winger that's been turned into a workhorse, and I made this argument in one of the other videos that perhaps we're holding players back in a way by taking away something they might be really good at, and making them do something else. Now, no doubt, Fornals is one of the best workhorses we've got in a team. Technical ability wise is fantastic as well. It's almost a shame as well that by doing that we could possibly have taken away his flair and his talent for that side of the game. Benrahma's improved game on game. I did kind of think myself that he's not really hitting the levels that he was until I saw the Gink game. I thought there he is. There's that player that we bought that we made sure we had over from Brentford, and he's definitely got something in him. Lanzini is for me a completely different kettle of fish to both of them. He's just getting back to the old Lanzini, and he's showing glimpses of it when he comes to the bench. Now, I think for him to start would be a massive ask, especially due to the sort of team that Liverpool are, what they're going to ask of us and what we can ask of them. Against Genk, they're a completely different kettle of fish themselves as an opponent. So he understood that he had a good game against them. He's not, for me, in the Premier League, he's not a starter yet. And especially with the way that those trio are, Benrahma, Bowen and Fornals, no one's getting in over them. And if you do, which is another reason why our standards have gone up, you've got to be on the ball and better than them every single time you play, even if you just come off the bench. So players like Vlasic might be playing really well, but he's just not quite at that level, mainly because he can't get in. He doesn't really get a chance. He gets a chance to the bench. But Lanzini's, it's really good to see him getting back to his best and putting that injury behind him that he had. That to be honest with you, I think Bowen's been linked with Liverpool recently, which would be a very ironic if he gets the goal tomorrow or something like that, because I can understand why Klopp likes him. And you're kind of looking at Bowen, you're going, well, there's about 2 or 3 of them in the squad at the minute, because he's doing the same job as all the others are doing.
Yeah.
Quick, tricky winger, work rate, all that sort of stuff like that. But I think when Lanzini first signed for us, the first 6 months, he was linked with Liverpool. He was linked with Remove himself to Liverpool, and then he got that injury when he went to the World Cup in 2018 just for his first game for Argentina. And it's taken him a hell of a long while to come back and be the player that he once was. And unfortunately, now, he hasn't got, 10 years left in him. So we're luckily enough, we're just getting a bit out of him now. Whether or not he's got another 3 or 4 years left in him, I don't know. But he's definitely come back to the old Lanzini, which is nice to see. All he needs is a goal.
Yep. Absolutely. And I think Happy Amaret, I'm going to go through some of the comments just now. Where is it? Lanzini scores those amazing unexpected goals. So you never know. You may see something like that tomorrow. Yeah. Before I ask everyone their predictions, I'm going to go through some of the comments. Crosshammer is saying Lanzini needs time again. Mandy J saying give Benny a free roll tomorrow. Happy Amaret saying to get Champions League next season, we need to beat some of these top 6 clubs starting tomorrow. Jordan Dare saying Brighton's goalkeeper got a red card, so it'll be interesting to see how they do in the next few games. Troj is saying Benny loses or gives away possession quite a lot, but was great last game in the week.
Yeah.
Sahil, during the last game, the link between Benny and Lanzini is magic. Your countdown. Oh, hope you're doing well, Mikey. Thanks for joining us. Really hope the lads will be able to handle the pace tomorrow. Handle the pace equals handle the pool of Liverpool. I love that comment, mate. Absolutely love that comment. So we've given you our starting lineup. We've gone through some of your comments, and there's only one thing left to do, and that is to get your predictions in the comments. Get your predictions in right now, and we'll go through them. So, game is tomorrow. It is a 4:30 kickoff.
It is indeed. Kickoff? Yes, main game.
We will be live doing a match day live. Look, you're going to the game. I'm not jealous one single bit. Of course I am. But I'm on red alert here, waiting for baby number 3 to drop and come. So I need to be lively. I can't even drink. I can't even drink. And I'm like, I just fancy.
Unlucky, mate.
Don't, mate. I'm struggling. Actually. I'm struggling. See, when you can, I'm just like, oh my God, I just really want something. Anyway, I don't condone it, but anyway. So I will be doing a match day live. I'm not sure who's going to be joining me, so we'll wait and see. Anyway,
on your
tomorrow, Lucky boy. What's your predictions, mate?
I'm going to go 3-2 West Ham.
Oh, he's stolen my one.
I always do. For some reason, me and you were very linked like that. We're very linked to how we think. We was 3-1.
Well, I'm not a goalkeeper. I'm a centre half. So
you're a bit of everything, really, aren't you, mate? Let's be honest. Yeah. You're very versatile. You are when you want to be.
Yeah. You do know what I meant there, though, with goalkeeper.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. Anyway, move on. We move. I was looking for the previous results the other night. And don't know why. I never normally do it, but I did it with Liverpool. I think so. When was the last time we actually beat them? And according to the stats, I think the last time we beat them was in the last season at Upton Park, and I think it was Andy Carroll scored the winner, and Antonio actually scored the first goal. Could be wrong.
Was that the goal that Antonio scored where he fell to the floor and it hit his head and it curled up over the keeper? I think it was.
No. I
was.
think no.
Was it not?
The one I'm remembering is when the ball zips into the crowd and he just knocks it in the top corner.
Right, so you're talking about the Premier League.
Yeah, you're talking about.
Yep. So the last, so we have beat them in the FA Cup. Something's happened to my. What's going on?
Your Wi-Fi's going out. The actual last time we played them in Antonio scored was a 1-1 draw at London Stadium. Actually, that was the last time he got a goal. You back now?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Oh, thank the
Yeah.
Lord. Thank the Lord.
Can
the
I
last time.
just say before we move on, Anton is always taking him out of my Wi-Fi that it's not working. So karma to you there, Sam.
That's because I'm on the West Wing.
Carry on.
It's fine. Right, anyway, let's go. I'll go through the comments and see what everyone is. So you're saying 3-2. That's cool. Let's see what everyone else is saying.
Antonio. You didn't ask for the scorers, so yeah, that's fine.
Trades WYD 1-1. Watch it. Boring game. Lee Vasallo. What are we, mate? What are we? Guess what? If you hit the like button, it turns blue. Dalek is saying 2-1 West Ham. Joan is saying West Ham 2-1. We are massive 3 points. Drone Stuff saying 4-3 West Ham. Epic Hashtime saying 10-0. Mandy J saying 1-all. Mikey saying we score in minute 8. I think that's what you're saying. Vinay saying 3-1 West Ham. Antonio Benny Suchek up 2 up, 2 down hammers, 2-1 West Ham. Ryan Chunk 3-2 West Ham. Lee Vasallo says 2-1. Mikey's giving us the rundown. It's 1 each in the 88th minute. What happens next, Mikey? 2-1 at West Ham, and we win the game in the 93rd minute, scoring a last-minute time goal. Steve Irons is saying 3-1 Liverpool, but he hopes it's 8-0 West Ham.
What I was thinking was that if Suchek scores a winner tomorrow, I would totally accept it if he rolled up his shirt and had a T-shirt underneath saying, "Drop me now, Luke." Just to sort of put two things up to his face.
P-Gads is saying it's a Desmond Suchek hat-trick. I'm assuming that's in reference to the fact that Suchek scored a diving header for Genk in midweek. Duzzy O'Dear saying 3-1 sad face. Hopefully it's a 3-1 happy face. Howard else saying 2-1 West Ham. Benny and Dawson on the score sheet. Aiden is saying Zuma.
Dawson.
Yeah, Zuma. Happy Amaret 2-1. Funky T, a Desmond. Anil saying a Desmond. Neil T saying a draw 1 each. If Moyes gives them no respect, we'll win 2-0. If he goes out there, no defend, we will lose 2-0 from Hornswosler. Sahil is saying 3-2 West Ham. Trade, you've told us this about 40,000 times. Double Think is saying 3-2 West Ham. Happy Amaret is saying Fornals and Lanzini goals. 2-all Desmond in 89 minutes until Moyes converts Johnson into a striker. He scores the winner, becomes our number 1 striker for the next 10 years. Love that. Love that. Cheers for that, Pete. 2-1 from Paul Evans to West Ham. Crosshammer is saying 2-1 West Ham. Adam Cook is saying 2-1 West Ham. 1-all first half. We nick it in the second half. I thought I was waiting for that one, Lee. I was asking you what we are, but I'm waiting for it there. Aaron is saying 2-all. Fabianski last minute overhead kick equaliser.
Alisson did it last season. Alisson scored the last minute goal, didn't he?
Anton's on the McDonald's Wi-Fi. You would know, Dalek. You would bloody know. Happy Amerit. We beat them 2-0 in 16. Yeah, I think that was in the FA Cup. WHU 58, 2-1 West Ham. The roar of the WHU West Ham supporters will drive them for 93rd minute. Go. We are massive. Lee Vasallo. We are. London is Claret and Blue over land and sea. Helen Ludders is saying we'd love a win, but only can see a loss. Unfortunately, English Yardie 1-all. Pete Chapman 2-1. B-Ball, Salah's not comfortable with Manny. That is an advantage for West Ham. Have faith, Helen. This isn't West Ham of old. Great show, guys. Let's get a positive result tomorrow. The only way is up. Mandy G is saying like. Was it 2016 in the Premier League? Yes, it was. Apologies, Happy Amaret. I just had it there in front of me. I was just wanting to see what was the FA Cup one just while we're there.
2-1.
So both of them were in 2016.
Yeah,
both Premier League and FA Cup were in 2016. Yeah. So there you go. So we beat them.
Bonner scored.
In actual fact, we beat them twice in the 15-16 season in the Premier League. We took the 6 points off them and then beat them in the FA Cup as well in 2016. So there you go. There you go. Anyway, look, who is the Liverpool player you fear the most?
Salah. Obviously, Salah.
Who is the West Ham player they should fear the most?
Antonio.
And there we go.
Obviously,
that brings an end to our match day build-up show. Make sure you join us tomorrow. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up. Please leave a comment. You are helping us get to the road to 10,000 subscribers. I think we deserve it. And I think it's time we get there.
It's got to change it. It still says 8.4. Still says 8.4K.
Yeah, that's just one of those funky little gifs I wouldn't worry about that. I wouldn't worry about that. And listen, before I do move on, if you are going to the game tomorrow, please make sure you go and check the Iron Support and Food Banks. They are located opposite the Park Information Centre, Stratford Walk, just before the Aquatic Centre. There is the location. I am not joking you. That is exactly the location. In between those two poles will be a flag, and it will have the Iron Support and Food Banks. They will be taking donations tomorrow. They will also have their big shiny where you can rub your phone against that little barcode up the top left-hand side. It will take you straight to the donation page, and you can choose what you want to donate to the Iron Support and Food Banks. We are on a big campaign to eradicate any of the issues in the local area of Newham that they have, and the work that the guys and John is doing over at the Iron Support and Food Banks is top-notch. It is fantastic. Absolutely loving it. So get involved. Like I said, there it is there, just before the Aquatic Centre, Stratford Walk, opposite the Park Information Centre. Go up and speak to them, and if you don't have anything tomorrow, then you can maybe arrange to do something in the near future to support them as well, and that would be massive, just alongside West Ham. Thank you very much, Mikey, for joining us. Hope you're well. Howard Ailes, thank you very much. Mandy G saying you're all lazy likers, so hit the thumbs up. Please do that. That would be huge. Anyway, thanks for joining us. He's been De Gea. I've been Anson. This is West Ham Network. Come on, you Irons. I'm only joking. He's Luke. There he is. He's Luke.
He wishes he was me. De Gea wishes he was me, mate. So yeah, I don't play Man United, so I'm all right.
Come on, you Irons. Hold on a minute. Someone said it's still on tonight. What day's today?
Don't need
Saturday.
Don't need him when he got me.
It's not on tonight. As he said he was going on tonight, Happy. If he was
said
he was going on tonight,
probably.
Happy, you need to learn. Right, you need to learn something about Stell. You don't believe anything he says. Believe in, he says. Anyway, from us at West Ham Network, stay safe. Come on, you Irons, and get behind the lads tomorrow.